You are graciously welcome to Healy's talk show. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
How an idea is received makes a difference. Say something, somebody.
My name is Adebisi. How an idea is received makes a difference. It means to be very sensitive on how we handle information and opinion from people to give a good result. Thank you.
My name is Olasukomi. How an idea is received makes a difference. To me, it's receiving an idea with an open mindset will determine a good outcome eventually. Thank you.
How an idea is received makes a difference. That is very correct. An idea is being shared to two different people. The first person accepts with a very clear mindset and believes something I can do. Let me think about it. Let me work towards it. The other person says, no, it's not going to work. No. Or accepted that idea partially. That is not, with his mindset. He didn't just believe in it. But anyhow, let me try. So the one that believes will definitely do better. The one that says, anyhow, let me try, will just also be coming behind. So it's very, very key. The advice I have for you young ones is that you must open your mind to receive advice. Receive ideas that come from people. So many ideas from different places. Not that every idea that comes your way, you will work with it, but the one that you feel like, don't just first reject. Like they say, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. Don't just first reject an idea. This one is going to go work. It's going to go work. Look at it holistically. Sit down. Get a pen. Put it down. How this can be and all that. And then when you fly with it, you see that you're going to make a huge success. Enough of that. We'll continue with our study for today. From hustling to building sustainable system is the topic for discussion today. We'll take a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the topic again is from hustling to building sustainable system. And with me in the studio is a marketer. Let's make welcome Abu David.
Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Before discussion proper, please follow us on social media handles as displayed on the screen. Abu, you're welcome again.
Thank you, Mom.
So may we briefly have your introduction, definition, and perspective of this subject matter? So
my perspective on this topic is the fact that mostly in a country like Nigeria, if you're living in Lagos, everybody hustles. In fact, we have a lot of people who are hard workers in Lagos. I've seen most of the most hardworking set of persons, and mostly the youth. Trust me, oh my God. An average youth does a lot of things. But then just because you do a lot of things doesn't mean you will have a lot done or a lot of results to show for the things you do. And then, of course, in the course of the discussion, I'm going to be sharing practical insights on how you could get a lot more done rather than just do a lot of things. Thank you.
You talk to youth understand. You say it's going to show a lot much done rather than just keeping busy while nothing is being happening.
Exactly.
All right. Why do you think so many young people are working hard but still not seeing real financial progress?
And so that's because I'll start with this word. It's a word from like from an history book, of course, but it's beyond an history book to me. It says that by strength shall no man prevail. And that word actually forms the basis of my own physiology when it comes to the principle of wealth creation. And that's because we think that because we do things, we are permitted to get things done. And then I'll try to still start with this statement that when it comes to the creation of wealth, effort is the lowest form of results. There are a lot of things you do to get wealth, but your efforts yields the least results. And sometimes wealth doesn't work by like the other things we know about. So you could pour more effort and still make less. So that's why we always say that if it's about the strength that you prevail, that means that guy who works in that guy who's like a bricklayer, with no shade to any profession, of course, but that guy that does a lot of more work done should be the one counting the most wealth. And that's because when it comes to wealth is more of a thing of strategy than a thing of labor. So hard work is good, of course, but I'm going to be sharing of how hard work is splitted into effort and also like persistence or consistency.
All right, thank you so much. Because I wanted to say, I was listening keenly to you, whether you say hard work, I wanted to say, if that's the case, then these truck pushers will be one of the wealthiest.
Wealthiest, exactly.
But you just said that creating wealth is more of strategic.
Yeah.
And so it's not just physical, I have the strength to do it. No. What you have here will help you. You can just be here now and making wealth. And so many that sit down in one place and money just flow into the account without this physical something. So that's why I said, why is it that some people now work like that and they are not, the result is not shown. So, but as this discussion progresses, he will tell you more. Because when you talk to youth, youth will understand. Thank you so much for that. We'll go for a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
All right, welcome back. Still discussing from hustle to building a sustainable system. And this takes me to the other question. It says, do you believe hustle culture is helping or harming people today? And why do many young people struggle to move from survival mode to growth mode?
So I think
that's two in one question.
Two in one question. Yeah, I think the hustle culture at first created an illusion of a positive vibe amongst the young people. But in the long, it's more of a short-term solution to a long-term problem. And the thing is that if you profile a short-term, it's more of like saying that you have fever, for example, and part of the signs is headache. And then you take paracetamol, you feel better, but you have not solved the fever. So that's what the hustling culture have done. It has created this belief that if I work so hard, I'm going to be successful. And then what happens when you do this consistently for so long and you're getting minimal results? So I think it has created it has done more harm in that regard. And because people are no longer aiming for knowledge, rather they just want to do. And the wealth creation, the structure is not in the doing, it's in the knowing, right? So there's this word that if you know better, you would what? Do better. So most times we just want to do. But just doing doesn't bring the result. It is when you know and you do that now you need more results. So how can young people create structure? I believe that's the second question, ma'am.
Yes, you say, why do young people struggle to move from survival mode to growth mode?
Okay, and that's because, the Nigeria, if you look at the research, you could see that over 70%, I don't know if that figure has changed, are living in poverty, meaning that 70% of Nigerians do not earn, was it $10 per day? I think it's even lesser than that, right? So it just tells you that the natural instinct is we want to survive. And that the survival traits in human can only do so much than put food on your table, but not aspire for a level of greatness and success that are kind to those who wants to be at the top. So, for example, for survival is like the crab, dog eats dog, crab mentality, whereby we don't mind pulling each other just to be at the top. But the way it works is at the top, collaboration is the competition. The top, they collaborate. So, for example, you see, is it APC or is it PDP? But when they mix together, they are friends. But then the supporters are then the ones who see each other and they want to tear each other apart. And that's because that's the survivor. We want to just do anything to stay alive. And life goes beyond just doing anything to stay alive. It's you doing what you need to stay above.
So for sustainability, they're more the consistency.
Yeah.
You youth nowadays don't want to put hand here. No, jump here. No, jump here. At least pick one first and grow it.
Great. Yeah.
And so when you pick something and grow it, what you're growing something, like they say, it's not the day you plant something that germinates. And so be a little patient. Be a little patient. Tolerate your environment to some reasonable extent and grow up that before you know it, it becomes sustainable. All right. At what point do one move from hustling to building systems?
So I'm going to start with this word. For those of us who are science students, there's this law of gravity that says whatever that goes up will
comes down.
Come down. But I like to say that whatever goes up doesn't come down.
Okay. Prove
Now,
it for us.
whatever goes up, goes up,
okay,
doesn't come down. So that's why, for example, if I throw this pen, it comes down, right? But if you plant a seed and it grows up, it doesn't come down.
Yeah.
It can only increase. Even if it shares its leaf, it will still come back again. And that's because why? It followed what we call due process. Right. So, for example, the biggest bomb in the world is atomic bomb. Right? Atomic. How many of us know atomic bomb? Right.
Yeah,
It's
we've heard about
it
it.
can down an entire city. Right. It happened in Japan. But guess what? If I go to Japan today, I can't even see a smoke. When it happened, there was earthquake everywhere. It felt like the world was coming to an end, right? Like rapture. But guess what? I can't even find a single smoke, right? But then there's Mount Everest. According to science, it grew. If you go there in the next 100 years, will you find Mount Everest?
You still be there.
It should be there. So I think young people must now understand that the results you get easily, the results you get fast, are prone to expire quickly. As it comes, it goes. So, but when you follow due process, for example, yes, I see a lot of young people, even at some point in my life, some people were trying to advise me to go into fraud because they were like, David, you have the brain.
Yeah.
Right? No, when they see someone that is smart, that's the first thing. Tell you, you have the brain. If you do this, you're going to blow up. I'm like, okay, what if I do this? I will skip the in success as principles, right? If you do fraud, the principles of consistency and persistency cannot be inbuilt in you.
It's short-lived.
It's short-lived, exactly. So if you skip some process, life works on principle, right? Just like the law of gravity.
Yeah.
There's a law of motion. So for example, if you don't eat, you can't pee. Right? So if you don't eat, there's nothing to digest. So you want to succeed without doing some things that bring success. So what happens is that when you get the success, you've missed some steps. So there's at some point, success will come to ask. Right? It's more of like the parable of saying that, okay, a tree is growing. That's because a seed was sown. So what happens when you see a tree and there's no seed? It's an error.
It's an error.
So nature will come asking, life will come asking, and then what happens at that point? You don't have what it takes to withstand. So you want to build sustainable practicals as young persons. First thing you must understand is that nothing good comes easy, and everything good takes time.
Of course.
Nothing good comes what? Easy, and everything good what takes time. Now, just because I say it doesn't come easy, doesn't mean it has to be hard. Like I said, if you decide to pull off your clothes today and go to the street to carry concrete, that's harder. But just because I say it doesn't come easy, doesn't mean it has to be very hard. But it's just that you need to put in the level of consistency and work. You can't expect to plant today and reap first thing tomorrow morning.
So I said it, everything has step, and God Himself is a God of process.
Yeah.
He's a God that knows how to plan things, one thing after the other. And of course, in Ecclesiastes, He said everything has time. A time to sow and a time to reap. So, and just name it. So don't just jump above the gun. I want to make, like you just mentioned, they say, you are very smart. I think you can do Yahoo. Yes, if you want to do that, it may prosper, but it's short-lived. Some of our young boys who involve just, they're always running. To come out now becomes an issue for them. They're finding a way to hide themselves, because they knew what they're doing is wrong. What if they're just on their way and this siren coming behind, they would just think that the siren is coming after them. But the police are just going on their own way because they knew what they did is evil. So please, step by step, like they say, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So you must take life step by step. And then from there, you will see your hard work will start coming up. And then not just, you see that you start growing. Like she said, if you plant a seed, it doesn't go the same day. And that's how you now live from hustling to building systems. People must hustle, but not by this strong like that. No. Brain work is also very, very key. And how you accept your idea and whatever we noted in our intro is also very, very important. We'll take a break now. Vivid View.
Sit and do it.
Welcome back. We're still discussing from hustling to building sustainable system. And here, what is the biggest mistake young entrepreneurs are making right now?
Okay, I
As
think
we talk now presently.
right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of young entrepreneurs, we obsess too much about our product and not about marketing the product. So let me start by saying that if I ask you what's the best soda out there, whatever you mention is not actually the best. The best TV show out there is not the best. The best camera out there is not the best. Most times, it is just the most marketed. So I like to tell people that, okay, as a Christian, I'm going to support this example. When Jesus came on earth, He was the Son of God, of course. But when He started preaching, that was the first one. Was like, hey guys, I am the Son of God. I'm here to save you. Right? He was even asking people, who do men say I am?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So, because He understands that as much as I am the product, I am the Son of God, it is how people see me and how I'm marketed to them that will determine if like, I'm going to pass on that message to them. So, for example, if he came as the Son of God, for example, what if the world had not seen him as the Son of God? How would they believe? So the first thing he did was he proclaimed himself what? The Son of God. Right? By time we'll be like, oh, even on the crucifixion, they're like, oh, you're the Son of God, right? That was when they were mocking him. It was like, yes, he said it. Even in death, he didn't deny the fact. Why? Because you have a great product, quite all right. But how many people have seen your product? See, sales and marketing is a game of number. You can't sell to people if they are not aware that you exist in the first place. You can't reach audiences if you do not do things to get to them. So, for example, people believe that young people just believe that when we have a product, people will come for us. And for some of us, well, I only want to ask the question, do you even have a product? Do you have a value? So, for example, I remember there was a phase of my life where I was working as a cleaner. I was in, like, it wasn't 9 to 5, it was like 9 to 7. I was working as a cleaner. I did that for 3 years. And what happened was that whilst I was working as a cleaner, I was building my digital skills. I was learning social media management. That was how I started. And in that work as a cleaner, that was where I got my first US client. How I knew I was supposed to stop, right? The money I was making remotely was bigger than the money I was paid on my salary. So I just like, okay, I can't continue this longer. And then I stopped. And then 5 years down the line, I'm still a remote worker. I make more money online than offline without having to leave my house. You understand? So young people, you want to build value. What do you have? Right? Remember, God cannot even multiply what you don't have. He says he will bless the work of your hands. What work do you have in your hands? Right? If Elijah comes to you today, what bottle of oil can be multiplied? So most of us, we want change, we want success, but we don't have any value in the ecosystem to offer. So, and this is not an attack, this is an advice. It's like, if you know you are that person, you have something that you can sell to the world, that people can pay for, build a value system. Don't think it's too late. Even you are young people, of course, we have the time to learn. Stay off TikTok, stay off Instagram, go and build value. Oh, I want to learn video editing, I want to learn graphics design, I want to do this, I want to do that. Because that is what people will pay for. People will not just pay you because you're a nice person, because you have a fine face. Yeah, the world is not fair to people, whether you are young or you are old. Yeah. Your advantage in the marketplace is the value you bring. So when I sit with people, I tell them, okay, for example, I can work on your business and you get more sales. I can work on this and you get more visibility. And that's because I've built the value on myself. So you can't compete in the marketplace if you are not even aware of your value, and you can't compete if you do not sell your value. Like I said, the best product is not the product that makes, that is not necessarily the best. It is the most marketed, right? Call the popular soda brand Coke. Go and find out how much they spend on marketing. Call the best, whatever. You discover that they are the ones that sell it the most, not necessarily the ones that are the best in the market. Thank you.
Okay, it also affects musicians too. Some of the music you hear, they are not the best.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Because the artists put effort in marketing. There are so many beautiful songs that are not in the market because the artists did not even market them. So just exactly to add to what you are saying. So you need to really bring out yourself first before any other thing can happen. And then, like the example he gave, he now moved from struggling to building systems. He said he was a cleaner. From there, I was learning how to do this and do that. And over time, it's that one is learning, even fetching more money than the little pay he gets. And he had to stop completely. That's building from one level to another level. So, young men, do not just fold their hands. And I also want to use the opportunity, though this is not my conclusion yet, but also to chip in that when our young people in Nigeria here are putting their hands into production, into whatever they want to do, some are making shoes, some are making clothes and not, let us also patronize them.
Yeah.
We need to patronize these young ones. That's why I said that we need to be encouraged, no matter how. As long as what they are doing is legitimate. They are not stealing, so we must encourage them. We elderly ones must say, buy Nigerian used made. Buy from them. And I also advise they also try to do it better so that I can last a while too.
Yes.
And so that's it. There's no job now to be expecting jobs so much from government. I don't know the year God will help us to come to that. But for now, don't think about it. Before you graduate, just have plan B on what to do. And your plan B should not be to go and hack people's account. No. Plan B, what do I create that can solve problems? What do I create that can impact in lives of others? And there's so many opportunities, so many. So many. If you can weave your hair as a young weave, you will see people coming. Good that you have asset now. Weave one person, put it, come and even weave a release and snap and put in social media. People will start coming. That is it. People will start calling you. You could also make it as even home service. Go and service delivery. Of course, home service, they pay more.
Yeah.
So if you do home service, they'll pay you more. So don't be waiting for that white collar job. It may not come. It's opportunity. That's why I'm here, Ahilis, to advise you young ones. And if you work what we're doing here, say and do it as is our slogan, you will see that you do much, much better. And then frustration will be a thing of the past. We'll take a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
My name is Badmos Caleb. My question goes like this. How do I create value while facing life challenges?
My name is Olasukomi. How can I raise money in Nigeria of today to fund an idea or project that is helpful to the society?
My name is Alima. Why do some people make money consistently while others struggle even with the same opportunities? Thank you.
My name is Adebisi. My question goes thus. How can young people build entrepreneurship structure around their business? Thank you.
My name is Bete Komomo. My question goes like this. What skills or mindset shift do young people need to stay relevant in the future at work?
Welcome back. A lot of questions from the audience. Please, our guest, provide the answers. Thank
Okay,
you.
so thank you so much. Now, how do I create value whilst facing life challenges? So I would quote the word of an historian called Job. He said that any man born of a woman is of a few days and full of what? Troubles. So it means that see these troubles, even both the rich, the poor, anybody, they all have troubles. So there's no excuse to not building value whilst you're facing challenges. Challenges are different, right? So that's why there's this saying that the rich also what? Cry. Why do they cry? Challenges. Challenges are different, of course. But the point is that you want to build, and whilst a lot of people see it as challenges, you want to see it as opportunity. Like I said, for me, for example, I came from a place called Ajegule. Whilst there were a lot of things that I see that were looking like challenges, I had to reorient myself. I used to tell people that what you see often is who you will become very soon. I'll say it again. What you see often is who you will become what? Very soon. So if you see it as challenges, challenges are stumbling block. What is the work of challenging and stumbling block? It makes you fall. But if you see it as opportunity, you imagine coming from a poor background and you see it as, okay, if I tell the world that I came from this background, it's going to motivate somebody. You are now seeing it not as an excuse, but rather as an opportunity to become somebody better. So if you are struggling currently, you have life challenges, you want to understand that you can scale from that challenges when you sell something, when you build something, not when you complain about it, not when you talk about it, not when you share it, but when you solve a problem. So it comes back to the first point. You are in challenges, quite all right. What are you doing about it? What problem are you looking to solve? Oh, what skill are you learning? What knowledge are you going for? What value are you offering? What are you doing to make yourself better? Because you won't change your life. The way you change your life is by changing you internally. Right? So that's why as a man thinketh what? So if you cannot change your mentality, what is your psychology about money? You understand? So once you can, first of all, change yourself, go for knowledge, go for skills, go for things that better you as an individual, and then you start selling those value to people. That is when you can now start changing. See, the challenges will not go. The challenges will not go, but you will get better. So it's how you can have challenges, but you have now mastered the challenges. The challenges no longer get to you. But doesn't mean the challenges are not there.
No,
It is there. But you now, you've mastered it. And the thing is that even when you grow in life, you meet new challenges, but you just master it. It's a cycle. You meet challenges, you master it, you use the challenges to your advantage, and it becomes a cycle.